Hi everyone, so in this video today we're going to start a mini series of a course. It's going to be between 8 and 10 videos that's going to be all about creating a 2D RPG in Godot 4. In this video we're going to take a look at how we can create player movement and the player animation, and in the next video we will take a look at how we can call the animation through code in all directions. That mini series is part of a future update of my new Udemy course. It's all about creating games in Godot 4. For now there is one course in that course which is about creating a 2D metroidvania / platformer, and then this mini-series will be part of a bigger update that will be around like 40 videos on how to create a 2D RPG in Godot with like saving system, with like lots of things, map, and those kind of stuff. I will put the link in the description for that course if you are interested in. At the moment I'm discounting it, it's at €9.99 instead of $29.99. It's gonna be like that until the 1st of April. There is also my game Lone Knight I'm working on the moment. It's a 2D metroidvania. It is available for wishlist on Steam, so you can go and wishlist it. It will be available probably in this year, and it's already available on Steam. I will put the link in the description of this video. So now let's get ready to make a little 2D RPG in Godot, and we're gonna start now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my project. So I click on new project. I am going to give it a name. So it's going to be RPG YouTube for me. YouTube. I'm going to put it in a folder. For me, it's going to be on desktop. And I think I'm going to save it somewhere in my Godot folder. Godot save game. Where is it? Godot 4 game. Voila. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to select that folder, and I'm going to put it on forward plus, and I'm going to create and edit. First I need to create a folder right here, and so now I can create and edit. Of course it takes some time. Voila. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import my asset. So for that I'm going to right click on my res folder, open in file manager, and I am going to just copy my RPG asset, which is here. So I'm going to just copy it. No. Select copy, Control C, and then put it into my RPG YouTube. Voila. So now everything going to be re-imported. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go to project setting, and I want to go into texture, and here I want to activate nearest. This will make make your pixel art crisp. If you leave it to linear, it's going to be a bit blurry. That's the new way to do to import pixel art into Godot. So now I can close and I can create my scene. So I'm going to create a new 2D, I'm going to create main, and now I need to create my player. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to create. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the plus, and I'm going to look for a character body 2D. That character body 2D going to be in need to have a sprite 2D. Then I'm going to re-click on my character body 2D. I'm going to add a collision shape. That collision shape gonna be a rectangle. So here I'm just gonna come here, and I'm gonna, on the right side, I'm gonna on shape, I'm gonna put rectangle shape, and then I need to have an animation player, which is here, and also I need to have an area 2D. That area 2D, I'm gonna rename it Sword. Sword. Voila, and then I'm gonna add a collision shape to that sword, and that collision shape with collision shape selected here. I go to the right, shape on empty. I'm gonna look for capsule here. Voila. So now I have my character that is almost done. So I need to say player here. I'm gonna look for my sprite, and in my sprite I have my player RPG right here. I'm gonna click and drag it into my sprite, but first I need to select my sprite 2D node here, and then I'm gonna just drag that into my empty texture folder, and now you can see that I have my texture here. It's quite a big spreadsheet, so the thing I need to do is I just need to set it up. So here I have five animation on the x-axis, so the horizontal axis. So here I need to put 5 on animation, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, on the V frame I have 16. Now I can just zoom, and I have my animation, I have my sprite that display nicely. I'm just gonna do here something. I'm gonna go to my sword collision shape. I'm gonna click here on the move mode, and I'm just gonna move it around here, and I'm gonna change the color of that node as well. So for that, I just need to go to the collision shape, and here on debug color, I can change the debug color. So I'm gonna put something like this. That's gonna be fine. Now I'm just gonna get my collision shape. And that collision shape, I'm gonna move it around here, and I'm gonna just reshape it. So I click on the select mode here, and I'm just gonna do something like that, something like this. I'm not gonna put it, I'm not gonna cover all my player with it because we are making a RPG. So basically I want my player to be able to pass behind object, and I also want other object to be placed behind my player. So for that I need to have like a very minimal collision shape that just allow him to be like colliding with some things, but like around like this around the legs, it works quite well. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and then the animation player, I'm gonna rename it anim. So now what I need to do is like I just need to create a script. So I click on my player, I click here on the script icon, and I'm gonna click here on that folder icon. It leads me to my root folder, and here I'm just gonna create a new folder, and I'm gonna call it script, and I'm gonna save it there. And I'm gonna take some one that is empty, or maybe default. I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna create it. Voila. So now I have my script, I have my ready function, and I have my process. Process here, that's not the one I want, so I'm gonna erase this one, and I'm gonna tap func underscore physics process delta. That's what I want, and I'm gonna pass. So now that I have that, I'm just gonna save this by clicking on the right arrow, the right click, and I'm gonna come here, save branch as scene. Here I'm gonna create a new folder. It's gonna be called scene, and in this one I'm gonna create a new folder as well. It's gonna be player. Voila. And now I can start to work on my player. So for that, I'm gonna just reopen my scene, and so like this, it opens my player into its own scene, and then I can work here on the player. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on my animation, and I'm gonna create my sprite. So here, what I need to do is like I need to have 4 different animations. So idle, walk, sword, and dead animation. And 3 of those animations, idle, walk, and sword, need to be in 4 directions: up, down, left, right. So here I have a bunch of stuff to do. So I'm gonna click on animation, new, and here I'm gonna create the first one, which is gonna be idle down. Then I come here, animation, new, idle up, animation, new, idle right, then animation, new, idle left. And then I need to do the same for the other animation. So walk up, walk down, walk right, walk left. And then I need to do the same for the swirl. So swirl down, swirl up, swirl right, and then swirled what was left. I think there was that. Let's see. So idle down, idle left, idle right, idle up, swirl down, swirl left, swirl right, swirl up, walk down, walk left, walk right, walk up. Okay, perfect. And so I just need to have my animation dead. Voila. So now I can start to key my animation. So I'm going to start with idle down. Actually, I'm going to start with idle right because my sprite per default is on the right. The first one is the right animation. So I'm going to come here to idle right, and I'm going to go to my sprite. So now here I'm going to go to animation, and I'm going to go here to frame, and I have that little key icon right here. I'm going to key it, and I'm not going to create a reset track. I'm just going to create a track here, and so now I can just continue to key it. Voila, up. I think it's all right. I think I made a double. Yeah, I've made a double. I knew it. Okay, so here this one I'm gonna delete it. So I click it, I click on it, and I just click on delete, and I'm gonna just retake those, and I'm just gonna move them here. So now the length of my animation stop at .6. So here I need to put .6, and I need to put it on loop, and so now it's gonna loop. Voila, it's perfect. So that's good. So now I need to go to my idle, I think. Which one is it? So I need to go back to my sprite. What do I have after that? It's the down one. Okay. So I need to go to idle down. And here I need to do the same thing. So I'm going to create. Voila. So here, let's see. No, it's not what I was looking to do. Voila. So I put it at dot 7, 7, and so I put it on loop. Let's have a look. Okay. So this one, I can delete it, and I can just resize those two. Voila. I can put them here, and then now I can put dot 6. Okay. So let's play. Yeah, good. So now I can go to idle left, and I can do exactly the same. So I'm gonna come here. Voila. So it's 12. And then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So now I can put a dot 6 loop. That's working perfectly. And so now I can go to idle up and do again the same thing. So I just come here, 18th frame, and so up, create. Voila. So now dot 6 and loop. Okay, that works fine. And so now we need to continue for the same thing. So I'm gonna go for the walk. So it's gonna be walk right. And I'm gonna come here, voila, 24th frame, create, dot 7. I put it on loop, dot 8, sorry, dot 8, I put it on loop. Let's have a look, see if it works fine. Okay, it works fine. So now I need to come here. It's gonna be walk down. Then I'm gonna just come here, create, voila. And then here, dot 8, I put it on loop, just checking if it's fine. Okay, it works all right. And so now I need to go to walk left, which is this one, the 14th, the 40 F1. So up 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, voila, dot 8. I put it on loop again. It's a bit boring, I'm sorry, but like I prefer to make that on video. So like this, everyone can see how I do it. And then walk up 0, and then I come here to the top here, voila. So 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, voila. Okay, so that 8 and loop. So now we're almost done. We need to make the swirl animation. So here it's going to be there. So it's going to be swirl right, obviously. The swirl animation is going to be quicker because there's 4 animation on it. So it's going to be way quicker. So I need to come here, create, and then 4. So here I put it at dot 4, but I don't put it on loop this time. So it's important. Voila, like that. And then it's going to be swirled down. So then here I'm going to create, and then key, dot 4, don't put it on loop. Then here it's going to be swirl left, create, dot 4, don't put it on loop, just check if like the animation play right. Okay, that's good. And then swirl up, voila. Okay, and dot 4 and on loop. And now we just can make the dead animation, which is 1 animation, and we are done with the animation. So up, create, and I'm gonna leave it like this up to 1. So like this, I want this one, I want it to play a little bit longer. So like this, everything is fine. Okay, so that's good. So now that we have that, we have our animation, the animation of our player that is set up. So what we can do is now start to code how we're gonna move our player. So we go to script here, and so here first what I want to do is at the top I want to create a variable, and I'm gonna call it speed. That variable speed for me gonna be equal to 70. But what I want to do is like I want that variable to be something that I can change in the inspector. So here I'm gonna do something else. Before var, I'm gonna just say at export space var speed. And so now if I go to my player, you can see that now I have my variable that is exported here, and I can change it directly here. So now that we have done that, that's good. But what also we need to have now is we need to create a function that's going to handle our movement. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to go under physics process delta. I'm going to create a function by tapping func. And here I'm going to say move underscore, I'm going to say move. I'm going to call it move. That's going to be it. Voilà, move. And here, basically, what I want now is I want to store the input. So for that, here I go to the top, and I'm going to come directly at the top here, and I'm going to say var, and I'm going to call it input underscore movement, and it's going to be equal to vector2. And that vector2 going to be vector2 dot 0. Voila. And so now that I have that, here I can come and I can get my input movement, and I can then assign some logic to it. So the first thing I want to do here is like I want to say input underscore movement is equal to input with a capital I dot get vector here, and then here I want to have quote UI underscore left, then I want to put a quote, then it's going to be UI underscore right. You have to tap the exact that in the exact order than me, because that the order makes sense here, and put that in full screen so you can see better. Here I'm gonna say UI underscore up, and then finally I'm gonna terminate that line with UI underscore down. Okay, so now that I have that, what I can do is I can assign the logic to that. So here what I can say is like I can create an if statement, and I can say if input underscore movement is not equal to vector2 dot 0. And then I can say do something. And here what we're going to do is like we're going to say velocity is equal to input movement time speed. And then we need to do something for when we are not moving. So we need to say here if input underscore movement is double equal vector2 dot 0. So if it is so if the vector2 is equal to 0, it means that we are not moving, and so we are not pressing any key. We need here to say velocity equal to vector2 dot 0, and we just need to terminate that with something that is called move and slide. It hasn't changed. This is the same. The thing that has changed, if you have already used Godot 3 before, the thing that has changed is that you don't put any more velocity, because velocity, I forgot to mention that, but velocity now is directly integrated to the character body 2D. The character body 2D is the new version of the kinematic body 2D that we were having before, and so now it's character body 2D, and we don't have to put something like velocity. If I try to put something here and I say var velocity equal vector2.0, for example, it's gonna give me an error. You're gonna wait, voila, it gives me an error because it's already called into the character body 2D. So now that we have done that, I can put my function here, and I can play my game, but I need to do something else before, which is that I need to add a camera, and I need to set the camera to be at a specific size so my player is displayed nicely. Because right now I'm going to save that scene, so I'm going to put it here, and it's going to be the main scene. So I'm going to create a new folder into the scene folder, and I'm going to call it levels, and I'm going to save it here. So now if I launch the scene, you're going to see that my player is going to be very, very, very small. Voila, I can move it, as you can see, but my player is very small. So what I'm gonna do here is like I'm just gonna take a second here. I'm gonna go to main, click on the plus. I'm gonna look for a camera 2D. That camera 2D, I'm gonna it's already set on current. I just need to go here. Where is it? Into zoom, and I'm gonna put dot 3. And so now you can see, if I go back to my main scene, you can see that now my player is at the center of that sort of like pinkish purplish square, which is my camera 2D. And if I just change that, I put it to 1, you can see that my my camera is way bigger. So here I just want to put it at 3. For me it works fine. And now if I launch my game, now you can see that it displays way nicer. But one thing that is not good yet is that if I click on full screen here, like you can see, that it has display, it hasn't kept the size ratio of the screen. So I just need to come to project setting, and here into, I think it is window, yeah, it's window. I need to come here to stretch, disable, I need to put viewport and keep, and that's good. And so now if I launch back the game, if I click on like full screen, you can see that now like my the proportion has been kept. So that's good. So now what we need to do is we need to find a way to call our animation, and that's what we're going to do in the next video. So that's it for this video. I hope it has been helpful for you. If it's the case, don't hesitate to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video where we'll be taking care of like calling the player animation into our code. So see you in the next video. Bye.